Hi, Stampin' friends. It's time for Sunday Stamp with Susan. I'm sorry I'm coming to you a couple minutes late. I wanted to have the host code ready for you. The January host code is ZVPVPXMF, and I will show that again later if you didn't have time to copy it down, which I'm sure you probably didn't. I'll leave it here. Today we're going to be using a combination of things, some from the mini catalog, some from the annual catalog, and some from the Sale-a-Bration. Now in the annual catalog, the thing that we're going to be using is way in the back. And it is the Design a Daydream. I don't even know if I can get it up close enough for you to see. Design a Daydream 12 by 12 paper. And I'm using a couple of pages from that. It is something you can get with, you can get it free with, if you have a qualifying workshop that you could invite friends to come and be with you, and then you could get this free. There's 12 sheets and 2 each of 6 double-sided designs. So, and they're all bright colors. So that's one thing I'm going to be using today. Another thing that I'm going to be using is, let me show you, from the, hello Jeanette, thanks for joining me. I'm going to be using this burlap ribbon. It's a lot thinner than I thought. I really thought it was going to be burlappy, but it's not. It's very nice. And then I'm also going to be using the adhesive Backed Sequins. And this is from the Country Floral Lane Sweet Collection. And the last thing, and the one that I'm most excited about, is, well, let me just find it. Right here we go. The free adorable owls, and it is adorable. With a $50 order from the annual catalog or the mini catalog, you can get these adorable little owls free. So we're going to be using those today. I made some yesterday just to show how versatile they can be. These are birthday cards. Hey Virginia, nice to have you joining me. This is Sweet Sorbet and Balmy Blue, and I'm using the gingham from the mini catalog, and then this is one of our in colors, the Sweet Sorbet, and the Balmy Blue is one of our regular colors. This little owl is so cute, and let me show you what I did. When it was time to cut the owl out, I just laid this on top. Whoops, I did it this way. And I traced around the paper the cardstock that I had stamped that on, and then I got a nice shape. So if that's something that you have difficulty with, that's something you can do. So here are 2 of the cards we've made, and this is the one we're going to be making today. This is from our, oh, okay, you made it gray because you were using gray DSP. That's a great idea. I thought that the brown would fit in here. There's all kinds of things you could do. Now, I had this long, sad story about not being able to find my Stampin' Right markers. And I'm going to show you something. It's kind of telling on me. I had these markers all packed up in Iowa. All packed up. I had an assortment here. I had the Stampin' Blends, which are good for another purpose, but I couldn't find my Stampin' Right markers. I looked all over. I tore boxes apart. Hey, Lisa. Thank you for joining me today. I tore other boxes apart. I'll bet I took 5 moving boxes apart looking for my Stampin' Right markers. I only had one. This is the one I had. This is the, polished pink, because it was in another bag with something I was doing the last minute. I think it was my last class at the Ankeny Senior Center. So here's this lone little polished pink Stampin' Right marker. And I went to slide it in a bag. And when I slid it in this bag yesterday afternoon, I realized this was my bag of Stampin' Right markers. They just didn't catch my eye as being that. This was the other bag of them. So, got the assortment that I wanted, but I don't know why I didn't see them. They just defied my vision. So, I was going to give a long boo-hoo story about how I couldn't find them, and anyway, now I'm giving you a boo-hoo story about how I did find them. Anyway, this is our little brown owl, and he's brown because this is a background of Crumb Cake. He's got a stitched, stylish die circle in Crumb Cake. Here is the Suede trim. Is that what I said it was called? Yes. And I've colored him with my Stampin' Blend markers. So this is how we're going to proceed. We've got a piece of Crumb Cake cardstock, and this is 8.5 by 5.5, and then I've scored it at 4.25. I'm using my bone folder. I have to make sure I get over in the spotlight here. And then I've cut up some DSP. I have a piece that is 1 3/4 by 5. I have to stop and think because I never write these down. And I'm going to attach it with seal right here so that we've got a 1/4 inch all the way around. And you can see the colors are different. I've moved them around. I thought that made for interest. Then we've got, and I think I'm going to put it down here. And then the other piece Oh, I hear my laundry's calling me. This is inventory day for my friend Lori. So she is at Hobby Lobby from 6 o'clock this morning until 6 o'clock tonight. So I'm taking advantage of it to do the wash for her. Yes, the Crumb Cake and the Petal Pink are a great combination. So I've got my piece of Suede trim, and we're going to put it right here in the middle. So I want to run 2 lines, fold it in half, and then try to find the tape lines that I ran. Okay, that's pretty good. Then we're going to attach, this is the second to the largest of the stylish shapes. And I'm going to put it right about in the center. And then I'm going to put the next size, the third one in, and this is cut out in basic white. And I'm going to place that right in the center. Okay, now the next thing is to color our owl. I have chosen the one that is flittering around, and I'm going to use Memento. Now, if I was going to use my Stampin' blends, I would definitely want to use the Memento. Since I'm using the Stampin' Right, I don't have to use the Memento. I could have used another brown, but I'm just going to stamp it up and look at it and make sure how it looks. And with this, you want to press and hold it and let the ink seep into the cardstock. Okay, that's a good imprint. Clean my owl off. Okay, so I'm going to start with Pumpkin to get his beak. Now, the Stampin' Right markers and the Stampin' blends just require a light touch. You don't have to bear down hard on them. A couple of mine have been ruined because people have really mashed down, but that's also because I didn't train them right. Okay. Now I want to do his eyeballs, and I'm going to do them in the Petal Pink. And I'm using the Stampin' Pierce mat to color on, just so I've got a little bit of a foundation. Okay, around his eyes and his tummy. Oh, and the insides of his ears. We're going to use Crumb Cake. Jeanette, I'm curious, what combinations of gray did you use for your gray owl? Because I probably would like to do that one too. Oh, I didn't give you the dimensions on the other pieces. I did one, the smallest one is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. The second one is, don't know. The biggest one is 1 3/4 by 5. And I don't think I measured the second one. I think I matched it up to see what was, okay, so if this is 5, and we take off 1 3/4, that's 3 3/4. We're going to take off another 1/4 inch. I can't figure it out. Okay, so there's the inside. Then I'm going to use, oh, Jennifer, that's all right that you're late. And I'm using soft suede for the rest of his head and body. And I just learned something with this one. There's a tiny little piece right here. And I've been coloring that soft suede because I thought it was a leftover part. See, I colored it soft suede. And now I see from this owl that it's the back of the beak. So I will be adjusting how I color. I prefer to use the brush side of these markers and of the blender pens. I just like the way it goes on. And it's thin enough that I can get in tight places. And if it's not, I can always open up the other end for the smaller tip. Yes, I saw that you placed an order, Jennifer. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. Now that we've got him all colored, and that'll dry into, I'm going to take a drink. I'm going to cut this out. Let me just show you how I did it. I just laid this on top and taking a pencil, it's interesting, can't find the pencil. Well, I'm going to do it with one of my erasable pens. So I've just laid it on here, and I'm just going to trace around the outline of the rubber stamp, which gives a good margin around the owl itself. I should have saved that for my tidbits. Now I'll just have to be careful how I cut it out so that I'm inside, just inside that line. If you don't have a pair of these snips, they are the handiest things. It's a must for your toolkit. Just follow that around, and then you don't have to worry about fussy cutting, because I know some of you, I won't mention any names or say any initials, but some of you are really not fond of fussy cutting. So this is something that's going to give you the outline without having to worry about fussy cutting. Now, because there's a little ink on here, this is an erasable pen. I guess I got it all off. Now, this owl, and you can see the difference between the one that I fussy cut and this one. And I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals. Another thing I don't have with me, I've got two left, are my, yeah, I can't even remember the name of them. Glue dots. My glue dots are in Lenexa, Virginia. They've probably just been unloaded this afternoon and put into the 6-car garage that my stuff and the stuff that won't fit in the small house my daughter's renting will be. So I'm going down there next week. Okay, we're going to place him right in the center. And I might want to just touch this up. Then it'll dry a little more evenly. I know you hate fussy cutting, Jennifer. Finally bought an old scanning cut, and that's what you're using. But this is fancy. Aren't these owls just the cutest things? And now I want to put a sentiment. We've got Hoot Hoot, you're so cute. Now we're going to put this one on. It says, my friend. And you want to let it sit a minute. My friend. You know what? I don't like that one. I'm going to do it again on here. Okay, let's see. Just a few seconds to let the color get in there. Oh, that's better. Much better. Now with this, I had a little trouble getting this just right before. We are going to cut as straight as we are able. Not bad. And again, that's a little off, so I'm going to trim it. This is where longer scissors might come in handy. Trim it down on this side a bit. If you haven't been to the movies lately, I'm going to highly recommend a movie that Lori and I saw last week called A Man Called Otto. Take your tissues, but it's a wonderful, wonderful movie. And I'm flagging this. I just cut up a ways and then go from the outer point to that inner point you made. And there you've got it flagged. And we're going to put this on dimensionals as well. If any of you took on my challenge from the other day about the calendar, let me know if you mailed it to Lenexa so that I can get your calendar made. There's no guarantee of the color. I'm just going to make from what I've got. And we're going to set that maybe down there. Now I'm going to take some of these pastel adhesive back sequins. And there's a couple sizes, so we'll put a bigger one up here. Remember that you want to place them in a kind of triangular fashion so that your eye is drawn around your design, and keep it at an uneven number. You also notice that my my ends are cut in a diagonal so that they haven't frayed. Well, they don't like to go back in there. So, here's our card for today. Actually, you would have your choice of blue, pink, hoot, or friend. So you'll have to let me know which one, if I draw your name, which one you would like. And also, if you mailed me a note that said, well, I don't know what it was supposed to say. Does anybody remember? I may have to watch the video again. Well, if I get mail in Lenexa, then I know that you did it. So, if you win, let me know what one you'd like. I see that Virginia would like the My Friend one. Okay, Jennifer, that's good. Just send a card. Yes, that's right. That's right. When you get to be my age, sometimes you don't have a very good memory, and if you don't write it down. So if Jennifer wins, she'd like hoot hoot. How about who else is on here? Jeanette, if you win, which one would you like? And I don't know if Deb and Irene are on here. You could each have a choice if I pull your name. So, well, that's it for Sunday Stamp with Susan. I hope you've enjoyed this. And a little tip on cutting out without having to fussy cut. And I am going to sign off and see you Wednesday at 4 or 3 for Tidbits with Susan. Sorry that I missed it last week. And then I'm going to be missing it the week after when I'm in Lenexa watching my grandkids. I miss them so much. It's amazing how used to them you can get when you live with them, but when you're not with them, how very sad that is. So thank you. You have a good afternoon, and I'll see you Wednesday for Tidbits with Susan. Bye-bye now.